Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to ZooBox. I'm Shaun, and today is day zero. Day zero of the Durianrider diet, Durianrider protocol. So if you don't know, recently we had vegan health enthusiast, bicyclist, master bicyclist. We had him on the channel. We had a nice cordial discussion. We thought it was going to be more of a debate. Ended up just being kind of a nice discussion.
So it's like it's so fucking pretentious, and I was blown away by how you were willing to come on to a cloutless channel, talk some shit, have a debate. It's only good for us. You don't need any of our clout. You know what I mean? So,
well, ZooBox magic could go a long way. So,
it's true. Right? We can all become
shut the
president.
Fuck up, Dan, right? Yeah, just calm down.
As we have been consuming his content for the past few months, I know Profitt himself has been watching Durianrider for a couple years now. And as we were doing it, we talked about things. He put things into certain perspectives that I hadn't really considered. And I was just like, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do a trial run of this. Which was actually, Profitt's idea. Profitt had planned on doing it because he wanted to see if he would get results from it. And I decided to do it too. I'm going to do it for the entire month of March. Profitt's going to start in a couple days. I started today. This is my day zero. And I think we're going to try to do like a weekly or bi-weekly check-ins. I'm going to do a weekly check-in myself. Whether or not Profitt's able to do that, that remains to be seen. But I'm going to do a weekly check-in myself. And so I just have some thoughts, some predictions. Like I guess I'll go ahead and just express before I actually kind of start in the diet in earnest. I think that I'm going to lose weight. I think I'm probably going to lose a lot of weight up front because it is essentially an elimination diet. When you start looking at what you can eat on something like this, so for this diet, it's high carb, high sugar, low fat. When you start like really diving into what that means and the kinds of foods that are available to you on that kind of diet, you see that you just can't eat a lot. There's just not a lot of stuff you can actually consume. So when you're trying to avoid fatty stuff, you just avoid things that are generally bad for you, like potato chips, ice cream, just kind of bullshit like that. All that stuff goes, like just pretty much like any diet you would do. Because I about a year and a half ago, I did something akin to a keto diet. I didn't try to get into ketosis in particular. I wasn't aiming for ketosis, even though I probably came in and out of it. I was just trying to kind of use that as a baseline to kind of do the elimination thing, where I was like, well, if I just lessen the amount of foods I can eat, and if I can stick to it and I can be disciplined and have a passion for it, I'll lose weight. And you know what? I did. I lost a ton of weight. But I think more of that I attribute to a lifestyle change. You just change the way you do things. And as you lose weight, you feel healthier. You feel like doing more physical activity. And that, becomes almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It becomes very circular. And I think this is going to be very similar to that. So I'm not sure, like 100%, if it's going to be the diet or not. If it's going to be this particular diet. So I'll be able to pretty easily juxtapose the two different diets because I'll have such close proximity to them that I should be able to juxtapose them pretty well, juxtapose the experiences, and then kind of report back on that, like how I feel physically. Because when I did like the keto diet stuff, I started feeling really good. I felt really good pretty fast too. So I'm curious if this is going to do that. So I've kind of got a little bit of a meal prep. I was going through the stuff I already have in my house. I'd go to stores, and I found some really shocking stuff in terms of like fat content. Fat content for things that they sell you or you would assume are not fatty. Things like salad dressing. On a serving of most your average salad dressing, there's like 17 grams of fat. And when you're on a diet where you're trying to get as little fat as possible, that's like a lot, because I'm trying to keep it within 20 to 30 grams of fat a day and not go over that. Durian, when that's about what Durian would do if he was kind of in a more normal phase. That's what he said. He'd be like, I'll eat 25 to 30, maybe even 40 sometimes, if he's kind of not trying to lean out, if he's not trying to do something specific. So I was like, okay, I can do between 20 and 30 grams of fat. I am not going to be completely cutting out animal products, but I'm going to lessen it a lot. If you look at how much, fat is in like a sausage link or something like that, which is something I ate a lot with the keto stuff, that's about 14 or 15 grams of fat. So I could eat maybe one of those a day, maybe two if I'm getting really crazy, if I really want to get wild. I got a lot of rice, stuff like that. Also, I've noticed that there's a lot of things you can eat, like black beans are pretty good. Even baked beans. If you want to get some sugar, If you want to get high carb, go eat some baked beans. There's not a lot of fat in those, actually, which I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised because I really like baked beans. And then there's just stuff like that. Soups are pretty good for high carb. There's some sugar in there. There's not a lot of fat in there. So stuff like that. There's actually a much wider variety of accessible foods, because when you get on the keto stuff and you have to start worrying about carbs, that cuts out like a lot of stuff. That cuts out even most vegetables. If you're trying to keep your carbs really low, which that's what I was doing, I was trying to keep my carbs basically under 30 grams. Whereas this, I'm trying to keep my fat under 30 grams a day. And it becomes really difficult. I'm not going to do hardcore intermittent fasting either. I think I'm generally going to try to stop eating after like 10 p.m. maybe, because that's one of my problems too in terms of like why I gain weight back, is because when I got off the other diet around the holidays, I just started eating like a monster, and then that became a habit, and now I get the munchies, and now I want to eat that stuff, and also doing like Delta 8 crap and Delta 9 stuff and getting high every occasionally so I can relax. You get the munchies, so I'm going to have to try to find a way to curb that. But if I, take this tact, I should be able to just go eat some rice. I could eat some apples, stuff like that. So try to just replace the junk food I would eat with healthier options. And also when you eat like a carb heavy meals, you just feel full in a way that I never really felt with the carb or with the more keto orientated diet. I never felt full. I was always like really hungry. And then you just kind of get used to the sensation of hunger, and it just becomes part of your life. It becomes part of the suffering that you endure. Then it just becomes normal. But I never really would feel completely sated most of the time. I just knew that I had to eat something to stay healthy. Also, I will be supplementing. I'm already a person that takes a lot of vitamins. I take like some extra vitamin C. I take extra B12. I take, fish oil, omega-3 fats and stuff like that for brain development. I'm going to continue taking that stuff while I do this. And that's about it. That's about it for my general overview. It's not really like, and Durian himself, he says this, it's really not just the diet itself. You have to be committed to a lifestyle, which even beyond March, I am committed to a healthier lifestyle. I don't know if I'll continue on with this. We'll see how I feel. Maybe I'll continue on for longer, and we'll find out together if that's what I decide. But I am back into the commitment of like being healthier 100%, because I felt really great when I lost a ton of weight, and then I have just packed on the pounds. I've probably gained like 25 pounds since like November, and I feel awful. Like psychologically, just my mood. I'm just depressed because of it, and all sorts of stuff. Also, another thing I'm going to be weaning myself off of is stimulants. I'm going to try to get away from a lot of caffeine, at least as much as I have been consuming. And if you know, it's kind of a running joke around here. I drink a lot of Bang energy drinks. And that stuff's awful for you. It's awful for you, and it's so much fucking caffeine. I mean, I can like 900 milligrams of caffeine in a day, and that's got to affect you in some regard. And I already have problems with depression as it is, so I'm hoping that some of this stuff being more natural, just kind of engaging with more sugar, like sugar cane. Durian drinks sugar water. You need a little boost, a little extra energy. Well, you drink a little bit of sugar water. It'll get you where you need to go. Oh, you feel a crash coming down? Well, what do? You squirt a little more sugar water. It's just like anything else. Just like the Bang energy drinks, just like anything. It's like, oh, I'm starting to wear off. The caffeine's wearing off. Guess I got to drink another one. It's kind of the same thing. It's really not that much different, except it's just more of a natural alternative to whatever the fuck is in Bang. I'm terrified to look what's inside of those goddamn things. I don't even want to read the ingredients. I'm afraid. I know that I'm like pickling myself in some sort of weird way. But there's a few other things too. I'll probably like I said, soups, baked beans. I noticed is tuna fish. Tuna fish is pretty good in terms of what you're looking for with this type of diet. Because I'm not trying to go completely vegan. I'm not a vegan. I have no desire to be vegan. That's just not something I'm going to do. So, Durian, if you watch this and then you decide like, well, he didn't follow the protocols, that's why he didn't like it, I would have to say fair enough. But there's things like tuna fish, just canned tuna fish, a lot of good source of protein, not a ton of carbs, but and there is actually, well, maybe not. There's definitely some cholesterol in here. 45 milligrams of cholesterol, that's a lot. I didn't notice that. But I suppose if you need just some protein, like if you're not going to have a better opportunity to get anything else inside your system, that might be an effective way just to deliver yourself, kind of a bunch of protein. But, and while I'm not going to be going full vegan with it, I'm definitely going to be eating a lot more vegetables. Even today, I had my first meal, which was technically, I suppose, a vegan meal. And which I didn't mind because it's things that I would like anyways. Like I could eat a couple pieces of bread. I had 2 pieces of sourdough bread. I threw a bunch of some fresh leafy greens on there. I spread a little bit of salad dressing. I got like this low-fat salad dressing. Was it the Olive Garden Italian Light? Because the other ones were like crazy amounts of fat per serving. And the serving sizes are super small, I'm sure, as you were aware. With salad dressing, it's not like the serving sizes aren't huge. So I spread that on there. I toasted the bread a little bit. I put that on there. I put some pickles. I put some jalapenos. I put some fresh leafy greens. And I ate it like a sandwich. And you know what? I enjoyed it. And I felt full, too. And I hadn't eaten anything else yet today. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Feeling pretty good. Like, I could eat that kind of stuff probably for a long time, honestly, before I get sick of it. And just like all these things, too, you got to remember, have a nice selection of mustards. Nice selection of mustards. Those things will take you a long way when you're eating the same shit every day. Mustards, I think salsas are probably in the ballpark of things I can consume. Lots of stuff you can do with like rice, Rice is very malleable. You can make rice sweet, you can make it savory. Lots of different stuff you can do with rice. Very versatile food. So, yeah, today's the first day 0, and I guess I'll probably check in with you guys either next Monday or Tuesday. They will not be. I'm just gonna do them on my cell phone. Honestly, I'll probably just like film myself walking around, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so they're not gonna be edited together. They're not gonna be nice and flashy like this one. Okay, not gonna be like that at all. But anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you on the other side, I guess, at some point. Goodbye.